Miss Aurora and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Hi, it's always nice to see a new face. I talk about books and writing, and today I'm going to be talking about NaNoWriMo, and in particular, because this is the week that statistically most people will quit, we are now into week 2, I thought I would break down some of the reasons why and give a little pep talk to help you keep going. So that said, let's just get into it. Number 1. Falling behind. It is so easy to do, especially if you have other commitments, work, family, education, whatever it is. It's so easy to fall behind. I started behind this year. On my first day, I wrote just over 500 words. I have now managed to play catch up and I'm now sitting at 20,000 words. So I'm actually got a couple of days in the bag that if I have a rough day, I've got them. You don't need those. They are nice to have, those little buffer days. They are not vital to finishing because I didn't have that last year. So anyway, falling behind, what you can do, what you shouldn't do is go, right, oh God, I need to write 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 words today and then everything will be okay. Well, you hold up. Just go grab a calculator, a pen and paper, do it in your head if you're really good at maths. Break down the task. Because you do that with any big task. Work out how many days you need as a minimum to get back on track. And suddenly, if you're looking at like 2,000 words a day, okay, it's a bit more than you were planning, but it's only a couple of hundred more than you were originally doing. It's not as intimidating. It's not as scary. You can absolutely do an extra couple of hundred words a day. And yeah, just shoot for that next time and shoot for that for the rest of the month. You're going to have good days and bad days. It's about finding that balance to get you to the end of the line. And look, if you are really behind, I mean like a couple of thousand words behind and it feels way too much, even doing that, shift the goalposts. I won't tell anyone. So you're going to do 40,000 instead of 50,000. 40,000 is still a lot. It's a hell of a lot. And no one's typically going to actually finish a novel in November. Most novels are more than 50,000 words. Mine is currently looking, it's going to be, 60, maybe 70,000. So, you're just trying to get the bulk of it done. And if you can only do 40,000, it's not only 40,000, it's a lot. Change it. Make the task manageable. Make it so you don't want to quit. And yeah, just keep going with new goals in mind. And number 2, you hate what you've written so far. You hate the story. You're just full of hate for this project, full stop. Yeah, I had this at the end of last week. So what I did was I sat down and asked myself why. And that's the first thing you should do. Actually, it's the second thing you should do. The first thing you should do is take a deep breath. It's a story. It's okay. I'd say no one died, but I don't know how dark your story is. So, just ask yourself why you hate it. Do you hate a character? Do you hate the plot, the direction it's going in? Do you have something you can at least salvage? I sat down and pulled a few chapters out, put 2 new ones in, moved a few things around, replaced the chapters that I took out. Job's a good one. I'm actually quite happy with what I've got now. And it's so tempting when you decide you just want to change the direction to go, oh, well, I must start from the beginning. Because, everything I've written so far is no longer relevant. Or, there's a huge change here and I need to rewrite these big chunks. No. This is a first draft. You do not go back and do rewrites. Because that's going to make you fall behind and then you're going to want to quit all over again. So what you do instead is just leave a note for yourself. It's a sticky note on your laptop, on your tablet, on whatever it is you're writing. Or it is, a note in the actual draft itself saying, changes made here. And then you carry on writing as though you've already made those changes. I've done it before. Yes, it makes your first draft quite messy. First drafts are usually messy. They should be messy. They are not perfect. No one has to see this. No one has to know. It's okay. We can keep this between us, Your secret is safe with me. Stum. We're all good. So yeah, the other thing is that if you are maybe And, I've just given you the example as a planner. What I would do if you are a pantser, however, maybe consider coming over to the dark side of planning and just plan a couple of chapters, just 2 or 3 maybe at the most, and see if that helps. And see if you can get your story back on track or get it into a direction that you don't hate, because you've got a bit of a plan in your head of what to do next, at least for maybe a couple of days. And, on the other side of the coin, if you are a planner and, even tweaking things here and there, it's not working, why not consider pantsing for a couple of days and see what direction it just goes in if you just let loose? Because you're going to engage a different part of your brain, and, instead of having it all mapped out in front of you, you're just going to go wild. And I'm not saying it's going to help. I'm just offering it as a possibility. I am trying to give just a solution to a problem. There is no one way of doing this. And that's the wonderful thing about writing. Whatever advice I give, you can take what works for you and you leave what doesn't. That's what I do with any writing advice. So yeah, just make the changes you need to make and keep going. Do not give in to the temptation to just restart from scratch, because unless it really is something you actively hate from like the foundations up, it's not going to help you get to the end of Nano. So number 3, piggybacking off of my last point. Oh, my characters have minds of their own. I wanted them to go here and now they're going there. My main character was supposed to fall in love with this person, but now they're in love with that person. No. You are in control. If you can control whether a flower blooms only on a Thursday, or how many snowflakes fall on a day, how many inches of snow, rain, sleet, whatever, if you've got control over things as tiny and minute as, flora and fauna, mate, you have control over your characters too. What's probably happened here is that something subconsciously makes you want to go in a different direction, and your conscious brain has not caught up with that. Your characters might feel real. They aren't. Wrangle those little fuckers in and tell them that they're going to behave if that is what it takes. But they have not taken over your story. This is yours. Never give up your autonomy. And in writing, you are fully in control. Always stay that way. Okay, that was a bit of tough love, but I felt it needed to be said. And number 4, you are doing your first Nano and discovering writing's really bloody hard. Yeah, I know. It is really hard. Now, as I say, I've said it a few times, I was a copywriter. I know how hard it is to sit and write for even hours at a time, because sometimes your brain wants to do other things, or, you're struggling to just get the words out even when you know what you have to write. There's nothing more frustrating when you know exactly what's got to be said, but those words just aren't wording. And you know what? You're going to have bad days. It's fine. It really is. It's normal. It's healthy. It's all good. You're doing great. Keep going. And number 5, you don't feel good enough. Man, every writer worth their salt has at some point not felt good enough. It's all right. Don't worry about that. Genuinely, don't stress. It's a first draft. Of course it sucks. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone your first draft sucks if you don't tell anyone my first draft kind of sucks. It absolutely sucks. My first novel that I wrote was so awful, I have never shown it to anyone. I've shown actually one good chapter that I had. That was it. It's okay to be bad, because the only way you learn to be a better writer is by writing. You can't go off and learn this in a book. You can't go off and study it. Yeah, you can study, how a plot works and what makes a good plot versus what makes a bad plot, what makes a bad character versus what makes a good character. But to actually be able to put that into action, you only learn how to do that by writing. So keep writing. You're doing fantastic. I believe in you. And don't worry, no one puts a first draft out there. No one good puts a first draft out there, because first drafts are just not good. They exist to be edited. And you can only edit it if you finish it. So that's all I've got for you today. I really hope this was helpful. If you've got any hints or tips or Even just share with me like where you're at with your word count. Stick it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I always like to get like comments, and they do really help my channel, especially since I am still fairly new and I don't have a very big reach. So yeah, give us a comment. Give us a like if you're feeling generous. Give us a subscribe if you're feeling really generous, because it really does help me out. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.